Hi guys, Tracy here with my third Christmas layout. I'm going to be scrapbooking this picture of my family at the tree cutting place that we go to every year. And I have my Studio Calico kit, which is the 34th Street kit, which is the December kit. And I also have these goodies from Crate Paper. I bought a very tiny amount of Christmas stuff from the Crate Paper Sleigh Ride collection. I have 2 packages of stickers and probably 6 papers. One of the papers I set aside, it's Santa's Naughty and Nice list, and it has both of my girls' names on it, and they're both on the nice list, which is good. So I'm going to use that for a different project. I just wanted to make sure I didn't cut into it because it does have a nice backside if I remember correctly. So I'm just going through the kit and picking out some papers that I think might match the sleigh ride collection that I already have picked out. I'm mostly using my kit for embellishments in this layout. In fact, I think I don't really use any of these papers, I don't think. Um, yeah. So I had an idea here where I was going to cut out the numbers 1 to 10 and then circle the number of the year that we've been doing this for, either 5 years, 6 years. I can't remember how many years. I was going to ask Scott and find out, but it ended up that I didn't go in that direction, so I didn't need those numbers. So I really like that red paper, which is from the Crate Paper Sleigh Ride collection, but I wanted my paper to have my photo to have a little bit more of I guess heaviness to it, weight to it. So I matted it in that black wood grain, which is from the Studio Calico kit. It's Crate Paper on trend. And my background paper is just a neutral piece from the Sleigh Ride collection by Crate Paper. I'm going to try to point out the things that are from the kit and not from the kit. So that blue paper that I'm adding right now is from the Sleigh Ride collection. I have a piece of POW glitter paper in gold, which came in the Studio Calico kit. And so I'm kind of layering a combination. Most of the pattern papers are from the Crate Paper Sleigh Ride collection, but a couple of them are from the Studio Calico 34th Street kit. And I'm just kind of layering them so that you can see a little bit of each one. And now I'm going to go back and outline all of the pieces of paper just so that they can all kind of look unified together. So, and I am going a little bit slower in my outlining today for a couple of reasons. My hands are a little shaky. It's been a while since I've scrapbooked and I'm actually a little rusty here. Um, and also I only want to do a single line and I want it to be fairly dark. So I just find when I take my time, the ink has time to soak into the paper and the result is a darker outline. So I'm getting to the end of my dimensional pop dots from Stampin' Up, so I'm cutting up and using all of the corners and edges. So that's what you see me doing there. I'm just popping some, I forgot to pop dot that. I meant to raise the red ones, so I just went back and added some dimensional adhesive around the edges of it to make it stand out a little bit from the rest of the layout. Then I just hand cut 2 strips and I cut them pretty jaggedy on purpose so that and uneven so that they would look a little more interesting. And I thought about adding another black element there, but then I decided not to. So the papers both at the top and the bottom, those borders are all from the Sleigh Ride collection by Crate Paper, with the exception of there is a small piece of POW glitter paper up in the top left-hand corner. Right now I'm just sticking a Crate Paper border sticker in on either side of that photo, making it look like it spans the whole length. And then I chose a tab to put on the photo, and then I decided to put 2 more tabs, and I layered them in the layers of my papers so that it looks kind of like file folders would look all kind of one behind another in a filing cabinet. So I am going to go back and add a third one once I finish fixing my borders. Eventually I'll go back and add another one. Um, so now I'm thinking about, I think what I'm thinking about right now is what kind of, oh yes, and those stickers are not sticky at all. They're not even as sticky as a Post-it note. They're really terribly unsticky. So they were falling off the sheet, so I had to use some washi tape there just to keep them in place. So I'm going to go ahead and glue down my little border strips at the top and the bottom. And at the last minute, I realized I had forgotten to outline, so I took off that. Even though there is adhesive on it, I took it off and ran my pen along both pieces. Now I'm going to stick it back down. I'm just using my Zig two-way glue pen, which is really great for small surfaces that the ATG can't fit. So I'm going to use my glue pen for all of that top strip. I'm going to go ahead and outline the blue pattern paper, but I'm not going to adhere it until quite a bit later. So here's where I decide to add the third tab, and it fits perfectly right there at the bottom. So I'm just going to, am I going to add a date? Yes, I think that's what I'm adding. So I'm going to use Stays On so I don't make a mess like I did a couple of layouts ago. And got my date stamp, just my plain office date stamp. And adding a bit of adhesive to that sticker because, as I had mentioned, they're not sticky at all. And I don't know if you would have caught it, but I have added adhesive to every single one of the crepe paper stickers as I put them on. I don't know if I got a bad batch or if they're just not very sticky, but they're definitely not very sticky. So now I'm just trying to decide on an element that I'm going to use to put the title on. So I'm kind of reluctant to cover up that really pretty wreath paper, but it's got to be covered because I need to put a title down. So got to get over that. So I am just putting out my title, which is going to be Tree Quest, and those are letter stickers that came in the Studio Calico kit. They're from October Afternoon, the Midway collection, and the colors match the Sleigh Ride collection perfectly. And I love, love, love those letters for this title. So then I also went to the Studio Calico kit to get those green letter stickers. They're from Basic Gray. They might be exclusive to the kit. I don't know. I don't keep track of that stuff. So now I'm just, you saw that I used my wax paper to figure out how I'm going to line up my letters, and now I'm just using some of the things on the journaling tag itself as landmarks to help me keep everything lined up. Tree Quest, and then I'm going to put 2012 there beside it. And these letters are so boxy that they're really easy to line up. And now because they were blending in just a little bit too much with the background, I'm just taking my .01 American Crafts Precision pen, which is the thinnest, the second thinnest. I do have a .005, which is just way too thin. You wouldn't even see it. But it's the thinnest pen that you can see that I have. Just to outline, I'm kind of just running my pen along the edge. So my outline is actually on the journaling card. It's not on the letters themselves. And that just gives the letters a little bit more, and the numbers a little bit more emphasis. And I initially had it in mind that I was going to tuck that journaling tag behind my photo, but as I worked with it, I kind of decided that I wanted it above. And then at the last minute, I just had that tree button on my desk. It's something Coralie gave to me in a rack. Thank you so much, Coralie, because that was perfect. I don't think I could have ever found a better embellishment and to go with this layout or to go in that spot on this layout. So that was just awesome. So what I did was I just poked it through just with my pressure of my hand on the spongy thing that that brads come in. And then it was actually the little button loop thing on the back side of it was actually a little bit too big, and so the dimensional adhesive was shorter than it. So I just took my little cutting pliers and trimmed it so that it was just a little bit less than a pop dot, so that I could put that whole journaling card on pop dots, and then the tree wouldn't be lumpy, wouldn't make it lumpy underneath. So if that makes any sense. And I don't know what I missed while I was saying all that stuff. Hopefully that was all self-explanatory. I'm taking a few minutes here to cut up some journaling cards because I just wanted something else for the layout. It was looking kind of boring. So I decided to layer 3 tags together. And this is my pet peeve. I don't like printed tags. Um, but I think I go with it here, or do I? I can't remember what I do with these. Anyways, so I'm going to outline them first, and I'm using my my Zig writer for most of these. Oh yes, I'm not. So what I did there was that little tiny punch that you see is a Stampin' Up! Punch, and it's like a little fancy label, but it's perfect for creating reinforcements for tags. So I cut 2 out of green and 1 out of red. And the green is just a piece of scrap cardstock that I had, and the red is actually from a file folder. And then I used my Crop-A-Dile but the hole was too small. It looked a little weird, so I went back with my just regular hole punch that you get at a stationery store, and I punched it. It was just a little harder because it's through 2 layers of paper. So I'm really loving how that little embellishment looks with the tags all put together. I'm going to put some twine through the tags. And yeah, so I'm just kind of threading it through and looping it around. And then all 3 of those I'm going to just kind of swoosh over to the side. So now I thought I was done and just ready to do the top right hand cluster, and then at the last minute I saw that speech bubble in my Studio Calico kit. A whole bunch of them came in the kit, and I just thought we should be saying something because we're at the tree lot. But I didn't like it plain, so I decided to cover it with washi tape. At the beginning, I showed you that I had like 4 rolls of Christmassy type. They're actually not Christmas washi tape, but I've just chosen them as my Christmas ones. And whenever I cover chipboard, I always use a nail file and just file it all down so that whatever you've covered it with becomes one with the chipboard, so that it's not so obvious that you covered it. And then I just took one of those tabs and I cut off the tab part so that it's just a kind of an oval instead of a tab shape. And then I took a Jelly Bean soup label, but it was too long, so I cut it in half and layered it on top of itself. And I kept kind of fiddling with how long I wanted it to be until I got it so that it was just barely hanging off the speech bubble. And then I put dimensional adhesive on the 2 flags, like on the ends of the banner. That's the Jelly Bean label that I'm talking about. And then I also put dimensional adhesive on the little fa la 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 thing, which used to be a tab and is now just an oval. And then I topped it all off with an enamel dot by my mind's eye from my stash. So there you go. Those tags look a little bit like houses popping out behind that. I'm just noticing that now, except that they've got strings coming out of the roof. So, okay. So now I'm just going to trim off the excess. And I can't remember what comes next. I think I'm almost done. I'm just going to do the top left corner. Just, you know, fixing little things here and there. I went to get a glue dot for that speech bubble, and when I put the glue dot on, I realized that there's actually a it's adhesive, like it has a backing on it. So I just took off the backing and stuck it down. Now here's a move that I knew I was going to regret before I even did it, and I did regret it, but I just left it anyways because I just wanted the strings to go over to the side, so I thought if I stapled them that they'd definitely go over to the side. And they do, but I just don't love how it looks, but that's just the stuff that you learn from scrapbooking. So next time when I think I should staple those down, but I might regret it, I will listen to my gut and not staple them down. But you can't sweat the small little details like that, or else you'll just spend forever fixing and moving and changing things. So unless if it's something that really, really bugs me, I usually leave my mistakes and things that I regret. I just leave them on the layout and I consider it learning. So every time I look at this layout and I see those staples there and how kind of awkward those strings look, it will remind me of how much I don't want to staple strings down anymore. So I'm just using some of those Tim and Beck letter stickers in the craft. They came in the Studio Calico kit to spell out the name of the tree lot that we go to every year. Putting a couple of enamel dots on there in the same color as the first one so that they're in 3 different places. So one is on the speech bubble, one is in the top left-hand corner, and one is in the bottom right. So I think I'm done. No, I'm not done. I'm going to spray. Actually, I'm not going to spray, I'm going to splatter. So first, I need to figure out what colors I'm going to use. So I'm just testing them out because my tester has them misted, not splattered, and so sometimes the splatter looks different. I ended up going with, and now I'm just cutting a mask out of, or a couple of masks out of just a file folder that was hanging around. So this first one is Water Cooler, and then I used Boss Lady, and then I used Sunset. So I had 2 different shades of pink, like a dark pink and a light pink. And so here's my close-up. You can see that POW glitter paper just adds so much. In real life, it's much, much shinier than it is on the camera. And yeah. Oh, I didn't mention that I added that green piece of washi in there above and below the photo, and that just grounds the speech bubble, which is amazing because I didn't even know I was going to add anything when I put the washi tape there. And then just some those tabs all layered there. So it's kind of funny how, you're thinking about doing one thing and then you change your mind and then it ends up working out for the other thing that you do. Yeah, so there's the tags popping out from behind the journaling spot. And then my little strips on the top and bottom are not glued on very well, but I kind of like them that way. They're stapled, but the glue didn't hold all that well, so they look kind of really, loose and casual, I guess is the word I'm looking for. So that's my layout. Thanks for watching, you guys. I've got some pictures coming up. Have a look at those, and you can always check out my blog and just leave me a comment if you've got anything to say or any questions about what I used or anything. So I hope you guys are all having a good holiday, and I'll see you in the new year.